What's going on, guys? We are currently in the Cadillac CTS. We recently picked up for super cheap. The goal for this project is for it to eventually be my daily driver, but before then we need to get the car running, and right now I'm not exactly sure why it doesn't run. This vehicle was advertised as having a seized engine. I immediately found out that was not the case. The previous owner was obviously not very mechanically inclined. I'm not sure if he had this car diagnosed at a shop or he assumed it himself. He put in the ad and he told me that the engine was seized. I'm not sure if he knows the definition of seized, but I immediately found out when I went to go look at the car that the engine was in fact not seized. We got this car for $1,800. If we can fix this car without replacing the engine, that would be awesome, and it would save us a lot of money, and we would be in this car for significantly cheaper than it's worth. So with that being said, today our mission is to ascertain a proper diagnosis for this vehicle. I ran to the store, got some brake clean, got some of that knockoff WD-40, got some starting fluid. That's all just in case. I don't know if we'll need any of those things in this episode. Let's get on with figuring out why this car doesn't run. The battery is dead. I've been charging up the battery pack. I'm gonna throw that on pretty soon. The first thing I did when I went to go look in the car, I took the key from the guy, put it in. It turns on. And okay, well, the battery's dead, so it's not gonna work now. So I'm gonna throw the jump pack on and show y'all what's going on. Now let's try this again. So as you can hear, the engine is very obviously not seized. I don't exactly know what the issue is. The jump pack is not fully charged, so I need to put that back on the charger. So the next step is to check for diagnostic trouble codes, do a compression test if necessary, and any further diagnosis following that. We have the scan tool hooked up. This is a very common scan tool. I'm pretty sure all you guys have it as well. So as you can see, we have 20 codes. Usually when a battery is completely dead, all the codes get wiped out, but it appears as though the battery has had enough voltage to retain their memory. We got P0306, P0301. Okay, yep, there we go. P0024. Camshaft, his timing is over advanced bank too. Okay, the timing is off, which is what I suspected. When I was cranking this engine over when I saw the car initially, it sounded like the timing was off. The crank was not consistent. It was like you guys know what I'm talking about. I will demonstrate this for you when the jump pack is charged up. Cylinder 3 misfire. Bank 1. Yeah. There we go. P0016. Camshaft position, correlation, yeah, sensor A. Okay. So that's off as well. Cylinder 2 misfire. Cylinder 4 misfire. Random misfire. Evap. That's the same thing again. Volt. Okay, so the battery. This is just the battery. So the short version of what this scan tool is telling us is that the timing is off. We have misfires on every single cylinder except for cylinder 5. I didn't see a P0305 on there, but that's whatever. Basically, every single cylinder is misfiring, and we have timing issues. So far, so good. It looks like all we have is a timing issue. No type of catastrophic engine failure. The engine does turn over, so that's all looking good. However, we're still going to do some further diagnosis. We're going to do a compression test, and then we'll move on from there. But so far, so good. Even if this engine does need to be replaced, I'm still glad just because the engine is not seized. Having a seized engine introduces a lot more complexity when trying to remove that engine for replacement. The engine needs to be able to turn over to unbolt the torque converter bolts. As of now, so far, so good. If we can get this car running pretty quick without having to replace the engine, we will be well into the green. Stay tuned. I'm not waiting for the jump pack anymore. It's going to take too long. So I'm going to jump it with the Chrysler. Okay. That wasn't a whole lot, but you could hear the skip. Okay, I don't know if y'all heard that, but it did appear as though the engine did try to start. When you're diagnosing a crank no start issue, there are 3 things you need: air, fuel, and spark. This one is getting 2 out of 3. It's not getting air because there's no compression. And I know that because the timing is off. Usually in these cases, the car doesn't even try to start at all. It's the next morning. I got the jump pack charged up last night. So now we're going to do this compression test and have a conclusive diagnosis for this Cadillac CTS. We have now removed all the spark plugs. However, the compression test is now canceled. We won't be doing it anymore. Y'all just saw during the time lapse that the spark plug for this cylinder was very difficult to remove. As you can see, they're all intact, except for the one that was difficult to remove. You can see this spark plug is completely destroyed. So it's pretty clear that the piston has made contact with the valve and has messed up everything in there. There's no need to do the compression test anymore. We know the problem. Now we just need to figure out how to move forward. So as you can see, I changed my mind about that compression test. We're going to do it anyway. I want to make sure that this bank is actually good. If we do decide to repair this engine, we'll only have to worry about one bank. Since the timing's off, the compression might be a little off, but I just want to make sure it's good. And we'll move forward from there. The engine is turning over so slowly that it's somewhat hard to get a definitive answer on if the valves have hit the piston. We know for sure the timing chain slipped on the other bank. I'm leaning towards trying to fix this engine instead of pulling the engine. I no longer have an engine hoist. I mean, if worst comes to worst, I could always go rent one. If I do decide to fix this engine, what we're looking at is a new timing chain set, new cylinder head. In the next episode, you're going to see me tear down this engine and we'll see what's going on inside the engine. But as for now, I'm grinding. I hope you all are doing the same. You all stay strong, stay healthy, stay inspired. I'm out. God bless.